Today we're going to learn how you can make your smartphone recorded audio sound like it was recorded in a studio grade mic. Audio is arguably the most sensitive part of filmmaking and video creation because you might be able to watch a video with bad picture quality, but it is absolutely impossible to watch a video with shitty audio quality. And when beginning our journey as a content creator, we don't really have access to a professional mic like this. We are generally stuck with our phone mic and which sounds like absolute shit. But what if I told you can make the sound recorded on your smartphone sound something like this, which is much better and in very few simple steps. But before we get to the editing part, let's speedrun a few good practices that you can follow while recording the audio so that it becomes easier to fix it in post. So point number one is all about the app that you use to record your audios. If you're using an iPhone, the voice memo app is perfectly fine because iPhones generally have a better microphone. But if you're using an Android, I highly recommend this app called RecForge 2. I did actually use this app for 2-3 years very extensively until I got an iPhone. Do you hear that behind me? That is why it is a no-brainer to always choose a quieter environment while you're shooting. So I generally record my voiceovers in early in the morning or very late at night so that there is no construction, no traffic or anything that is disturbing the background of my voiceover. Now that is of course a no-brainer, but I just wanted to put it out there. It goes again. Now another problem that happens when you're shooting in a hollow empty room like this is the walls that are plain and hard, which reflects the sound. It comes back to the microphone that I'm using right now over here, and the audio gets a lot more echo, which does not sound good. But there is a very simple solution to get rid of the echoes is to get under a blanket, which is a soft surface which does not reflect your voice much and it actually absorbs the voice. So that's a very simple solution. You will definitely hear rappers and singers talking about their early days, about how वो रजाइयाँ डाल के record करते थे. And the next point is about orientation, because I keep my mouth always this much away from the mic, and that is a very good distance to have because the excess breath that is coming out of our mouth when you are saying certain characters, that can really ruin the recording. Like if I get it too close to something like this, it sounds bad and you hear all the extra breath that I am leaving from my mouth. Okay, that sounds wrong, but yeah. So you generally keep it this far. This is very good. And tip number 5, last but not the least, is to maintain a similar volume while talking. That will be easier to handle when you are finally editing the video and dealing with the sound in post-production. So we have bought our phone recorded audio into this software called Audacity. Audacity is a absolutely free, beginner-friendly audio editing software. You can just download it right now and follow along with the process. So I have bought this particular sound in here. This is an audio recorded with the phone. This is an audio recorded with the phone. Okay, pretty good, but we can make it better. Firstly, there is a little bit of noise that you can hear. So that is why I have left this amount of free space without talking in the recording. That is something that I do every time, and it's a very good practice because I can use that free space to sample the background noises and the audios that were actually going on. So I'm going to select this whole part, go to effects, noise removal and repair, noise reduction, and get noise profile. So that background noise is sampled, and now I'm going to select the whole track, go back to noise reduction and click on OK in the noise reduction part. And you can also rate the step 1 and step 2. It's very self-explanatory. You don't really need to mess with the settings over here. The default settings works really well for me. Now as you can see in the waveform, all these small noises are actually gone. Now let's have a listen. The background noise is much more numbed down. This is an audio recorded with the phone. This is an audio recorded with the phone. That sounds much better. Now I'll just get rid of this initial part, and now let's work on actually making our voice sound a little bit better. And the first thing I'm going to do is to come to volume and compression, go to compressor, and I'll decrease the threshold just a little bit, and I think that looks fine. This will basically bring out the hidden texture of the audio. Now we go into equalizer and go to graphic equalizer. I generally like to use this bass boost, or you can just copy this particular thing I have. Now this is not a random graph, this has a meaning because bass of the sound is generally lying in the lower end of the spectrum, this end of the spectrum, because the small mics of a phone are really bad at getting the bass of our voices. That is why audio recordings sound so bad. Alright, I'm just going to apply this and now have a listen. You will hear a lot more bass into the voice. This is an audio recorded with the phone. This is an audio recorded with the phone. Perfect. Now let's take care of the variation in the loudness. I can come to effects and compression and normalize, or you can use loudness normalization as well, but I generally have been using the normalize option for like years now, so I'm just going to use that. -1 dB is absolutely fine, and it is going to normalize your audio, not too much because I just went with -1, but it gives a good amount of result. Now let's have a listen. This is an audio recorded with the phone. This is an audio recorded with the phone. That sounds very nice. So this is what the audio sounded like before any edits. This is an audio recorded with the phone. This is an audio recorded with the phone. And this is what it sounds like after the edit. This is an audio recorded with the phone. This is an audio recorded with the phone. Sounds pretty good, right? But this is still a mechanical way, something that we have to put in some work into. The other way that I want to talk about is actually something that uses AI, and that is called Adobe Podcast. And for this, all you have to do is to come to podcast.adobe.com/enhance, and you can basically select the file that you want to enhance in this case. So I'll just select the file that I am looking for. Where is it? So I have selected the audio, and now it will take some time to upload and enhance the audio. Now this is something that's completely done using AI, and there are some limitations in terms of how long or how big of a file you can upload, but it works pretty well. So this is the audio before. This is an audio recorded with the phone. This is an audio recorded with the phone. And this is after. This is an audio recorded with the phone. This is an audio recorded with the phone. That sounds pretty amazing if you ask me. So those were the two different ways of how you can make your audio sound much more professional in post. And I've also talked about the 5 things that you need to keep in mind while recording the audio so that it sounds a lot better. I hope you learned something new from this video, and I will see you in the next one.